Thank you.
All right, and we are live. Hello, everyone. This is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Rebel. Welcome to the Jeet Kune Dialogues, episode number 351. As you're logging in, if you guys would be kind enough to say where you're logging in from, hit the like button and feel free to continue doing so throughout the dialogue. If you're catching the simulcast over on the YouTube, please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell as well. But of course, the best thing you can do is to share this video and spread the word about the Jeet Kune dialogues. Okay, so my dialogue partner today, that good-looking gentleman over there, I'm gonna do something with you, Matt. Let me pull it up here. Um, wait, where is it? I just had it here. Okay, hang on a second. I'm gonna do something with you right now.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so I will. I'll call the name and you say yes or no. Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir.
All right. Washington, yes or no?
Yes.
Oregon,
Yes.
California. Well, California, forget that. Uh, Nevada, California, obviously, right?
Yes, sir.
Nevada,
Yes.
Idaho,
No.
Montana,
No.
Wyoming,
No.
Utah,
Yes.
Colorado. Well, yeah,
Yes.
Colorado, we know. Um, did I say Arizona yet?
No, sir. But Arizona would be a no.
Okay. Um, well, let's see. I'm wondering if I have you beat there, Arizona. I can't remember. New Mexico,
No.
Texas. We know for sure,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Because we've seen each other there. Oklahoma,
Yes.
okay. Kansas,
No.
Nebraska,
No.
South or North Dakota,
No and no. I'm loving this. It's great.
Minnesota, obviously.
Yes.
Iowa,
Yes.
Missouri. You live in Missouri, all
Absolutely.
right? Arkansas,
Yes.
Louisiana.
Yes.
Remember, I thought you were from Louisiana.
I think so. Right. 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 I think when we talked in Denver, I
Right.
remember you had asked me if I was
Yeah.
from Louisiana, which is
I'm,
a
I'm
beautiful
like,
state.
right.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I met you in Atlanta and you're from Louisiana.
Right. That's
And I
awesome.
was dead wrong. I was dead wrong. Okay. Mississippi,
No.
Illinois.
No.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
I got, I got you beat on Illinois.
I've been to Illinois, but I have not been to Illinois when Guru was there.
Ah. Oh, wait. Am
Right.
I right? Wait, do I have you beat in? No, I don't have you beat in Illinois. Michigan.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I thought no, Illinois. I don't have you beat on. Um, let's see, Wisconsin, obviously, right?
I'd be a no on Wisconsin.
Oh, then
Yeah.
I got you beat on that.
You got me on Wisconsin?
I got you beat on Wisconsin. Yes, Janesville, Wisconsin.
Okay.
With
Okay.
do you know Pete Hetrick?
No, I do not. I've heard of him, but I have not met him. No.
He was in Dallas. I should have
Oh,
introduced you. He was in
yeah.
Dallas last year when you were
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Okay, so we'll fix that next time. Indiana, you have
Yep.
me beat on that. Um, Kentucky,
No.
Tennessee,
No.
Alabama,
No.
Georgia. I did see you in Atlanta at least one time, though, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
I've
all
been
right.
to Atlanta with Guru and Sifu Francis Fong were
Okay,
presenting there, so I was in attendance.
okay. Did I say Ohio yet?
No, you did not, but Ohio is a yes.
Okay. I don't think he's ever been to West Virginia,
By my knowledge, no.
but he's been to Virginia. Were you there? Have you
Yes,
been there?
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Patre School,
All right.
yeah.
North Carolina.
But sadly a no. I
Let's
wanted to
see.
go, but the event didn't
Yeah.
happen.
Let's see. North Carolina. Have I? Now I can't remember. South Carolina.
No.
Okay. Maryland.
No.
Has he ever been to Delaware? I doubt it.
I'm sure he might have gone back in maybe like late 70s, early 80s.
Who would he who what okay, let's see what kind of an Inasano historian you are. Who would he have gone to for for Delaware? I don't think so.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
What
but you never know if somebody had maybe had a seminar or something. I don't know,
do
but
you know one time he was supposed I don't know if it ever happened.
mhm.
But he was supposed to go to Nashua, New Hampshire,
Oh, really?
right?
Okay.
And I was gonna go.
Okay.
And somebody said to me, Dwight, you might want to rethink that. And I'm like, why would I need to
Yeah,
rethink that? If
it's New
Dan
Hampshire.
Inosano is doing a seminar, why do I
Right.
have to rethink that? Apparently, they were concerned about my ethnicity in New Hampshire. And I'm like,
Really?
what? And
Huh.
this is probably in the 1980s or something,
Oh,
right?
wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think they were just being overly concerned, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
let's finish this up. Did I say Pennsylvania yet?
Pennsylvania, we have not, and Pennsylvania is a yes for me.
Okay, New Jersey,
New Jersey is a no for me.
New York,
Yes. Two places in New York, in
uh,
Syracuse and then New York City.
Syracuse.
Yes, sir. Kevin Seaman School.
Oh, right, right. Okay, and then what? New Breed or something in?
No, yes, once it was with New Breed, and
Mhm.
then also I got to go to Dan Anderson's school and train with Guru also.
How did you swing an invitation to Dan Anderson School and I was never I
I'm
see.
sorry.
I always knew there was something special about you, Matt Stumpf. I never got invited to a Dan Anderson. What the heck? How
It
did you
was
swing
pretty
that?
neat.
How
It's
did you swing that?
I think Joel put in a good word for me. I don't know.
Oh man! Oh
Yeah,
man!
Dan Anderson's was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
It's a beautiful school too. It's like one of the nicest schools I've been in. Like if you want to look at a really nice facility,
Mhm.
one of the neat privileges I've gotten is you get to go all the way from seeing Guru on the East Coast to seeing him in the Midwest,
Yeah.
then to seeing him on the West Coast, and you see all the different schools and the cultures.
Yep.
And honestly, that's one of my favorite things. Something that I used to do is I'd collect either T-shirts or patches from different schools. So I would get
Hmm.
like a T-shirt from Jeff Westfall's school. I got a T-shirt from Dan Anderson's. Anything they'd have for sale, I would just buy. And
Right.
Dan Anderson's school is really nice. Like,
Yeah. Well, you got me beat there. You know, that's where Ronnie Reagan's from.
really? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Ronnie trained at Anderson's for quite a number of years
Okay.
before he moved down to Florida, and then everything went to pot once he hooked up with me because I will ruin you, right? Right. Maine, I'm pretty sure Sifudan has never been to.
Correct.
Right.
By my
Um,
knowledge, no. I have not been there.
right. And has he been to Massachusetts? I feel like he has. Have you?
I have not. I'm sure he has, but I haven't been there, no.
Okay. And then I have you beat. We've talked about this. Rhode Island.
Rhode Island, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You got me on Rhode Island. You got me on Rhode
Right.
Island. Yeah.
And let's see. And then last but not least, Florida.
Florida's a yes. Jacksonville, that's where we met. That's the first time I remember meeting you for the first time.
And what year was that? Do you remember?
2013.
Okay, so that was Jacksonville. That was like 7 years after he stopped coming to Miami. So yeah,
Yes.
that would have been Jacksonville. Yeah,
Yes.
Joel's first assistant gig was in Florida.
Really?
In yeah, I think it was I think it was 1995.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was his. Okay, so for those of you who did not catch on to the game, right? When we were in Denver last year, Sifu Dan turns to Matt and Jen and says, "Yeah, these guys, I see them all over the place. They've been to like, did he say 10 states or something?"
I think you said 10. Yes, sir.
And then you corrected him that it's
It's 20.
20.
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes,
And
sir.
so I was quite upset. I was quite distraught, right? Because you never worked for an airline. I worked
No,
for an
sir.
airline, right? And I'm like, does he have me beat? So I went back to my hotel room. For those of you who've never heard the story, I go back to my hotel room and I start counting. And I got to 15, but then but then we saw each other. We saw each other at instructor conference,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yeah, but
And
yeah,
so
it's the October one, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
right. So I went and I looked again, and then that's when I worked out it's 18 for me,
Oh
right?
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, I don't think I'll ever catch up to you because he's not traveling all over the place
Right.
anymore. You know,
Right.
right? Do you guys
Yeah.
have plans to do any of the international stuff, or have you?
No, I've been to Canada. I've seen Guru in
Okay.
Montreal,
Okay.
but other than that, no. With my schedule with the public schools, anything like Australia,
Right.
when you're planning a travel seminar, you got to have a day to travel. Obviously, the time at the seminar, and then that exit time to travel back to
Yeah.
make sure that you're back to work on time. And working for the public schools, I have to be back at work at 7 a.m. Which I have a funny story about that if you want to hear it.
Go.
So Eric Alexander, one of the people I teach with at ACG, when Eric and Alexander and I were starting to come up, Eric doesn't know I'm on here, so he's gonna probably laugh at the story. So, so Eric Alexander and I go to Syracuse and we go to Kevin Siemens. We go to Kevin Siemens School, and you know me, I'm super excited. I've never been to New York before, so it's my first trip to New York,
Mhm.
and it's my first trip to see Kevin Siemens. So obviously, I've got all the books, I've read the books. I'm just super happy to just go around, And we go there and we go to the seminar. The seminar was fantastic, and Sunday hits, and we go to the airport. And as we're sitting in the terminal, up in the Syracuse airport. The Syracuse airport is very small. We check in, we go to the gate, and we're right to about boarding time. And Eric and I are looking at the thing at the notification that says, "Hey," it doesn't say anything that we're not supposed to be boarding. So I look at Eric and I say, "Aren't we supposed to be boarding by about now?" And Eric looks at his watch and goes, "Yeah, we should be boarding. There should be some there." So Eric goes and looks. Turns out the flight's been canceled. Now, keep in mind, I've got to be back at work in 12 hours. Okay. So, right. So I have to be back. I have to be back at work in 2 hours or 12 hours. And I thought, oh, snap. What am I going to do? So I thought, well, maybe I can call in sick. Well,
Mhm.
I don't want to do that. And I looked down at my phone. I thought, I'm not going to do that. So Eric goes into this travel mode. And
Right.
Eric goes, all right, here's what we're going to do. And I'm thinking, what are we going to do? We flew from New York, Syracuse, to Indianapolis. We rented a car in Indianapolis. It was like planes, trains, and automobiles. And then we drove from Indianapolis all the way straight to St. Louis. Now, what had happened, the funny thing was, I actually had a chess club that I was running at the time. I'm doing an elementary school chess club.
Okay.
So I remember I had my clothes from Friday in my bag, and I changed my clothes. I changed my clothes in the quick trip bathroom, and brush my teeth, and I go and I get into the elementary school parking lot at right on time, like literally at the minute for the chess club to start. And
Oh
one of
man.
the kids looks at me, one of the little girls I still remember. She looks at me. She goes, "Hey, that's a shirt you were wearing Friday, Mister." Long story, kid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
See, so well, that's your twist, Matt, on
yes,
the proverbial walk of shame.
right. Absolutely. Yeah, I would say that was a long day at work too. That was a long
Yeah.
day at work. Yeah.
Oh man, only a dedicated Inasano student would have that version of a walk of
Yes.
shame. You
Yeah.
know?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I remember once
Mhm.
I only during my career with Eastern Airlines, I called in sick once and I wasn't sick. I was in LA
Okay.
and I didn't want to leave the Inasano Academy,
Oh man.
right? Because
Yeah.
of what something was going on and I didn't want to leave. So I just stayed, right?
Nothing wrong with that.
Overnighted. called
Okay.
my girlfriend, and I had my girlfriend call in to work and tell him that I was sick,
Oh,
right?
wow. Okay.
Yeah. And what the only other time that I was sick, I made it to work even though I was sick,
Okay.
and then they sent me home, so that never counted, right? So in
Mhm.
like 13 years, I only had like one sick day.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
amazing. That's
and it
amazing.
was and it was because of Dan and Asano.
Totally worth it. Completely okay reason to be sick.
Yeah. Have you had in your traveling around? So most of your traveling around then is done in the summer
Yes,
when you
sir.
guys are on
Currently,
vacation,
currently it is at this point. Yeah, we don't have
right?
we just also too with Guru's schedule, I have to kind of adjust for that.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, so Guru's not as available as he once was, which is, why it's important to go see him and train with him. And, there's
right.
just so much knowledge and experience. I told we just got back from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and
Hmm.
I was telling some of the people that I was working out with, I said, in 15 minutes, he's covering information that could take you 3 to 5 years at a decent pace to really do well in a 15-minute block. So you have to make sure that you're just, if you get two or three things from the seminar, that might be a couple months of information.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? You just hit the nail on the head that you didn't even know you were aiming for.
Uh oh.
42 years ago, he said to me, "You got about a year's worth of information,"
Oh wow.
but that was during a week.
Oh right.
Right? So you
Mm-hmm.
see how much faster he's going now? Because
Absolutely.
right in 15 minutes, right?
Yes.
See
Absolutely.
now between me and you, because this is a private conversation, not seen by anyone
Absolutely.
else, right?
Right.
Don't you think he should slow down?
You know, I don't think you should. And and
Really?
and the reason is because I've started to realize, and I was just having this thought when last week, that if he did slow down, he would be not true to himself and how he's presenting the information. And I I,
Hmm.
I thought I thought about it because I thought to myself, I thought, as a teacher myself,
Right.
you have to look at the wide range of learners, and you have to look at the wide range of experiences and just set of abilities that people have. Like when I do Brazilian jiu-jitsu, like I want to do really good fancy Brazilian jiu-jitsu so bad, but I'm the most basic player in the world. I'm incredibly basic, but it doesn't mean you're not less good. It just means you're just doing stuff at that level. And I feel like when Guru goes through a lot of curriculum,
Hmm.
I feel like what he's really doing is saying, hey, you might need this piece of information here, but this other guy just needs this basic. And I think that's starting to learn how to pace yourself. If you look at like the Cambodian 7 counts that Guru
Yeah.
shows,
Yeah.
when you do that teep to the round, the cross hook elbow, if you work on just that basic one, just number one, you've got a lot in it. And if you start using it to counter either a lead teep, use it to counter a rear round, use that to counter a jab, that right there is months of training just for that one combo. So I
Right.
I think Guru's trying to do that. But now, just so you know, he didn't tell me. So
Okay.
that's just my
Right.
interpretation.
But so now, if I remember correctly, he teaches at least four things off that basic, that
Yes.
fundamental, right?
Yes.
Because
So humbling. I love it.
the elbows keep increasing, right, in that
Mhm.
7 count.
Mhm.
Okay. So what if he taught just the first one
Okay.
and gave us 5 minutes on that instead
Okay.
instead of
Yeah.
1 minute on each of them,
Instead of
right? You
yeah,
see, so
true.
and then he does it the way you just said, right? So you keep the basic as the
Right.
receiver, but
Okay.
the feeder does something different. The feeder goes jab. The feeder goes jab cross. The feeder goes
Yeah.
right round kick. The feeder goes long foot jab, that type of thing. But we keep to the basic,
Mhm.
right?
Absolutely.
That's what I meant by
Okay.
slowing down.
Yeah.
You
That
see?
would have yes, sir. That makes a lot more sense, and I that or brings a lot more clarity into it. And I think there would be a different retention rate for sure. I think there would be a different. I kind of enjoy. I'm a little bit weird. I kind of enjoy being lost a little bit,
Ah,
and
okay.
I enjoy when I get to see a piece of information and
Right.
then I don't know all of it. And so then I have to
Right.
just focus on one specific part of that drill or one
Right.
specific part of that aspect of training. And
Hmm.
then I focus on that, and then I get to see, and then I get to see him again and I see a different piece of it. And then I kind of have a different perspective.
When you see those different pieces,
Yes.
do you have like a personal system for recognizing what it is that you're seeing?
Yeah. Yes, I do. I have kind of what I call the base when I see different systems. So
Okay.
if I see something like, if you take for example something that's pretty common that you see Guru teach would be like the Muay Thai 4 counts. And
Okay.
you see he'll do like start with a left and with a right, start with a right and with the left. And so for people who haven't seen Guru do that, you start with the left, well, left round kick, right cross, left hook, right round. Then you have a right round for the second one, left hook, right cross, left round.
Hmm.
My brain says, okay, there's something to the benefit of alternating limbs, and
Hmm.
something's happening with the holder that if I want to do it right, the holder is going to have to make sure that they adjust themselves so that you're getting the maximum power on that kick.
Hmm. Oops. I, I swear to you, I didn't push anything. I didn't touch anything. We're having such a good conversation. All right. His internet might have cut out or something. So let's give him 2 seconds to get back in. Um, I will message him and tell him he dropped out. Okay. All right. Hang on. Let me get to you. Okay.
Hey, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I
Yeah.
touched something and then I don't know.
I, I told I told everybody I didn't touch anything either.
Yeah, looked like my internet bars were okay too. I'm not quite
Yeah.
sure,
Okay.
and I
All
can
right.
hear and I can hear and see you perfect.
All
So,
right. Well, I think okay. I think we're
yeah.
good. All right.
Okay.
So where the heck were we? I forgot
We
where we
were
were.
we were talking about learning like base systems
Ah,
when you're learning
yes.
from like
Okay. So you just said something. What you
okay,
just talked about is what in Miami we call natural combinations. If I
okay,
if I go if I go left right, that's a natural combination, right?
yes sir.
However, think about double stick. If we do 4 count
Okay,
open position, I
okay,
go right left.
okay.
So have you ever taken that and worked that into, for example, Muay Thai 4 count?
Not like that. No, I'm processing. Maybe I have unintentionally,
Uh
but
huh.
not deliberately. No, I'm. Let me think about that for a second. Like working in the right left as in the hand motion, or
No. So here's the example. You ready for
okay,
this?
yes sir, yeah,
Left round kick,
okay.
jab cross, right round kick.
Oh, okay.
Right.
You're right.
Uh
You
huh.
are correct.
Uh huh.
I like that.
You see?
Yeah, that's a good perspective. That's
Yeah.
fun. I like that.
Yeah. See, because I in doing my research
Mhm.
to talk to you,
Okay.
I watched Jamie Sparling and I watched Tim Becker.
Oh, okay,
Right.
great. Yeah,
So
yeah.
that I already
Mhm.
had an inkling, but
Yeah.
I wanted to certify that I had an inkling about how your brain works.
Oh. I don't know if that's a scary thing or not.
Right.
Oh.
So
Yes.
that's why I asked you that question
Okay.
because I think that yours is the type of brain that once it's given a basic pattern,
Okay.
then you will go off on tangents and try to see, okay, well, what if this? Well, how about this? Well, what if we do this to it and whatever? Am I right?
Guilty as charged.
Uh-huh.
Guilty as
I could
charged.
tell.
Yeah.
I can tell. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, however, I thought of this just before we went live.
Okay.
I cannot remember. Do you take notes during some? I cannot remember seeing you write stuff down.
I have gone through a few phases. My first phase, I didn't write any notes at all because it was too much information, and I'm a very tactile learner,
Okay.
which is partially why, as a child, I think I school was not always fun for me because a lot of people don't know I had an IEP for fine motor written expression. So even like writing my
Well, wait,
name.
wait, wait, wait,
Yeah.
wait. I went to school in Barbados.
Okay.
Okay, you're gonna have to explain all those acronyms for me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So in public schools, if there is they determine if your learning is not done at the same rate of your class,
Okay.
you can be tested for what they would call a learning disability, which I never really liked that term.
Yeah.
I've been a special education teacher for 17, 18 years, and I prefer the term learning style
Hmm.
because some people have a real strong auditory processing. Some people are a really strong written. They have a really good written ability.
Yeah.
You have students like myself where I would have very, very strong tactile.
So
I
you
had
you called you called it an IEP?
an IEP, which is
What is that?
that's an individual education plan. So then what happens is when you go to school, your teachers have so many goals that they're supposed to be working on you with.
Okay.
And then those goals are supposed to be what's driving the modification for instruction. So that's
Huh.
where,
Huh.
yeah, so that's not necessarily a negative thing. And in order to have an IEP, you have to have at least an average intelligence. So hopefully I'm there. But but you're supposed to have at least an average intelligence, but you have to be performing below your IQ level, which is why it's considered disability. So,
Uh,
for example, if your IQ, let's take an even number, if your IQ is at 100, but you're performing at an IQ of 80, which
hmm.
is 20 deviations to the left,
Hmm.
then you are qualifying for an individual education plan. So
Okay.
my individual education plan recognized that I had an identification in fine motor written expression. The problem is writing is really hard for me. And so for the longest time, my self-talk was not always positive because it's very hard to learn in a written to written format. And
Right.
I'm somebody where I need to see it. It may like to me, give you an example, anatomy did not make sense to me until I could actually touch a bone or an organ. And when you see how squishy a heart really is, because the heart is a muscle, but its
Hmm.
job is to pump.
Right.
So when you feel it, I remember being in my sophomore level class for biology, and I remember taking the heart of a frog at the time that we had dissected, and going, "Wow, there's actually space here." And then the heart makes sense to me. So
Ah.
then when I was learning from Guru, it's there's often an analogy kind of passed around at our school where we say it's like drinking from a water hose or
Right.
like
Right.
drinking from a fire hose.
Right.
What I started to do was I would just get Heaven Six or I would just get Infinity or Abanico and I would
Hmm.
practice the Jesus out of it and then I would write it down. So then when I would come
Ah.
back from the seminars,
Yeah.
then I'd go, okay, we did high, low, high, we did low, high, low, we did a triple high and a triple low. I thought, okay, that's pretty good. And then all of a sudden we would do more stuff after
Right.
because there's more in that series. It's a
Right.
16 count series, but I had done. I'm going to adjust a little bit for this light. I don't want this light.
Okay.
There we go. Perfect. There we go. So anyway, I would adjust for that, and then what would happen is I'd fill it in and go, oh, there's a low, low, high that I remember. Well, if there's a
Hmm.
low, low, high. There must be a high, high, low. And
Hmm.
if we're doing this pattern forehand, backhand, forehand, we must be able to do it backhand, forehand, backhand.
Okay.
And that was how I started to fill in the gaps.
Right.
So if we have a forehand, backhand, forehand method that
Hmm.
we're using in a right versus right encounter, we could also do a forehand, backhand, forehand in a left versus left, and then take it another step further, a right versus left, and then a left versus right encounter. So that's
So,
kind of how my brain operates a little bit.
Matthew,
Yes, sir.
be honest.
I am 100%.
Are you more of a collie man than anything else?
Yeah, oh, I love college. I love so much. I got the
Matthew.
bath towels and everything.
Matthew Stumpf. If if somebody said, "Well, Matthew, you know, you've looked at the Muay Thai, you've looked at the Silat, you looked at the Jiu Jitsu,
Okay.
you looked at the Jeet Kune, you looked at Kali. You can
Okay.
only choose one of them for the rest of your life."
That's so hard. It's so hard because I do love jujitsu. I do. Anybody who works with me, I love jujitsu. I
Yeah.
started doing judo 2 years ago. I love that too, and I love Kali. And I part of what I like about Kali is that I can put it into other contexts, and then Kali continues its validity.
Okay, but you have to answer the question.
I can't.
You got to make a choice. You
If
can only do one.
I can't. I can't. I guess I'd have to say I'd do Kali.
Yeah,
I'd
it's
have to.
okay. It's okay to say that. It's okay to say that. I was in Naples.
Okay.
Either Naples or Sarasota, because
Okay.
it wasn't the Miami seminar,
Okay.
and it's in the morning before the seminar. It was a long time ago, so I was still running. Right, so
Okay.
I'm running, and Sifu Dan's walking through the car park of the hotel,
Oh wow.
and so we drop in, we get in a lockstep with each other,
Okay.
and I told him, I go, I feel bad because it's easier for me to explain um, martial art concepts using Kali than it is using Jeet Kune.
Right.
And he
Yeah.
goes, don't worry about it. Right? He goes, don't
Mhm.
worry about it. He
Right.
goes,
Right.
but, and remember, right? Eskrima is a fencing art, right? So,
Right.
right? So, if I was putting you on the spot, it's because I'm on the same spot.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
See,
Absolutely.
in fact, I dare say
Mhm.
one reason why you enjoy jujitsu so much
Okay.
is
A
because it's Kali with a gi on.
little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. A
Yeah.
little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear Joe Rogan explain jujitsu? Well, for me, it's a famous clip. I forget who he was talking to,
Hmm.
but he was explaining jujitsu to somebody. And he said, well, in jujitsu, you do this and I do that to counter it. You
Okay.
do that and I do this to counter it.
Hmm.
And I'm going, Joe, that's Kali. That's called
Right.
Sombrada.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And it's
Right?
and it's fun because you can put dynamics of Hubud into jujitsu, and then that becomes the grip game. And then you can put aspects of grip fighting into Hubud, and then Hubud starts to look different. But what's interesting to me is it still retains its structure.
Mhm.
That ability to form a structure and make space, to me, that's like framing. Whenever my instructor talks about framing, and I'm really lucky because I found a really really good jujitsu gym here in St. Louis. It's Gracie United St. Louis, and
Okay.
yeah, my head instructor JW Wright is just fantastic, and the school's amazing. But what part of what drew me to JW as an instructor is that he was very much guru like.
Ah.
Yeah, so he would say things like, "Well, think about it." Like one of the things he said to me that, and I wrote it down, and I've talked about this in my class several times. Was he said, if you're in a guard, if you're in someone's guard, or if they're in your guard, someone is playing the guard, and then you're either playing the guard or someone is passing your guard. And when you're in their guard, they're either attacking you or you're passing them. And he said, and if you don't know which one you are, you're on the wrong end of it. And I started to go, why does that stick out to me? And then I start thinking about Hubud. And when you're applying a structure kind of out and you want to funnel that structure so that you can start to apply what you want to play on another person, if I don't know who the winner is and
Mhm.
I don't know who the loser is when those sticks click, if I'm like, oh, I don't know where we're at, chances are I'm probably going to end up getting hit, or something's going to be done to me. And that
Yeah.
was partially what drew me to him as an instructor, where he's a fantastic mentor. Is I was able to kind of take some of those Kali analogies and
Right.
started taking that mindset. So I agree. I think they're very much related.
Right. Um, back in your, what was it, Taekwondo days or
Yes,
what
sir.
have you? Okay, your learning style, did that
Oh,
present any problems or anything?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm left-handed. I'm left-handed and I wanted to fight southpaw and my instructor Sean Becker was probably one of the greatest martial art mentors I ever had with Sean Becker and he was cross training before. This was right when Guru let me kind of backtrack a second.
Okay.
So I went into his gym in the early 90s and I was like probably about 13 or 14 and I walk into his gym and the first thing he has, now this is a Taekwondo school. So it says
Mhm.
American Martial Arts Taekwondo. And I walk in and there's this frame on the side and all these heavy bags and these guys in shorts in shorts and they're boxing, they're hitting the bags. And I thought to myself, I was like, this is a Taekwondo gym? And
Mm.
there was a little bit of a mixed culture there where the gis were still there, or you call them dobaks in a
Right.
Korean system.
Yeah.
But the dobaks were still there, the forms were still there, but we would jump rope. So every single class we would jump rope and we
Yeah.
would shadow box. And there was Western boxing concepts because Sean had studied it because his stepfather had worked on army boxing teams. And
Hmm.
so Sean was really big into cross training. And when I got my black belt, he gave me the introduction to Larry Hartzell's book written by Guru. And he was explaining to me how Guru knew where martial arts was going to go. And he said, if you want to know how to be a martial artist all your life, this guy knows what he's talking about.
Right.
And so then that's what kind of got me in that mindset. So as a Taekwondo person, I remember, so bringing back to your question, I'm left-handed.
Right.
And so I wanted to fight southpaw.
Yeah.
And Sean would say, "No, go to left lead." And I go, "Well, but I feel." And he goes, look, and he looks at me and goes, "Look, southpaws don't get fights. Shut up, do what I tell you to do." He goes, "Do you want to get a fight? Do you want to compete? You get in the left hand." He goes, "Get in your left hand."
Oh
You
man.
know,
Right.
yeah. So yeah,
So okay, so that's interesting. So a Taekwondo guy was essentially your introduction to the world of Jeet Kune and Kali.
yeah. And what it ended up happening was I found a flyer in a black belt magazine. The Guru was coming to St. Louis, and I was like, "Is
Right.
this a misprint? Guru's coming
Mm.
to St.
Yeah.
Louis? Like, what's
So
this?" Yeah.
oh wait, because have you and I ever talked about the 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 um the glorious history of St. Louis and Dan and Asano?
No, no, no. I know that he used to come with Jim Smothers in California martial arts, like way, way back in the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
But you would have more insight into that than I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it. Yeah.
Because okay, so actually Ronnie and I were talking about this, um, and Cass and I were talking about it last week. Ronnie and I were talking about it today.
Hmm.
So 1981 was the first CMAA, California Martial Arts
Right.
Academy,
Okay.
at
Well,
University of California Irvine campus, right down
oh
in
wow.
Orange County. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
excuse me, but that was a weekend thing
Okay.
put together by Dan Inosanto and Richard Bustillo.
Wow.
Okay. 1982, it kept the name, it kept the location, but
Okay.
it was now perhaps a multi week event put together by Jay D'Amato.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
1983, retained the name, stayed in that location. That's when I flew out. That was my first year.
Wow.
But 1984, keeping the name CMAA,
Okay.
Jay moved back home to St. Louis.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yes.
That makes
And
sense.
and so now we were on the St. Louis University campus.
Okay.
Okay. So that was 1984, 1985. Then
Hmm.
by 1986, Vic Payne, who had attended CMAA
Okay.
from South Carolina, he started the Smoky Mountain camps,
Oh man, I
right?
have one of those books.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
started the Smoky Mountain camps.
that's all.
So for many of us, including some of the guys from outside the country,
Mhm.
CMAA, those were our formative years.
Yeah, yeah, I can
That's where
imagine.
we got the building blocks. That's where I met Rick Fay, for example. right? That's
Wow.
where I met Neil Coliff, Dan Timlin, Ken O'Neill,
Okay.
D'Amato himself. That was my first year training with Francis Fong, 1983.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
right.
That's
And
amazing.
so there is no way that I could talk to somebody from St. Louis and
Mhm.
not bring up CMAA.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
So yeah,
absolutely.
and then I think after CMAA, I think Sifu Dan still used to go back
Mhm.
because there was before, was it before Jay, there's this other group with Ken O'Neill. Oh man, now I'm forgetting.
Before Jay D'Amato
Yeah,
in
yeah,
St. Louis.
yes. Because
I think
there
that
was
was
a
with Stan Brooks, some of those guys.
Stan Brooks,
Yeah.
Ken O'Neill, Carl something, and I think Carl lived in LA for a while, but was actually from St. Louis. And that's how Sifu Dan ended up there, maybe even before the Jay D'Amato stuff. Anyhow, right? Yeah,
I
but I
think
just,
so. Yeah, that
yeah,
sounds right.
in case you weren't aware, I wanted you
Yeah,
to know there's a glorious St. Louis history,
that's
right?
awesome. That's really cool.
For in the
Mhm.
world of Inosano. Okay, so we covered that you. So wait, are you back to taking notes now or no?
Yes,
Not
I
yet.
take notes. I take notes after. So
Okay.
I'll take like if Guru writes something down, like when he says something in Tagalog or something like a sentiment, or if
Uh-huh.
there's something brand new, then I will absolutely like write that down. This way I can work through it.
Okay.
But I do a lot of my notes and reflections after the seminar, after I've kind of had my hands on it.
Well, that must be in the middle of the night because you
It
go
is.
from instructor conference to the Thai restaurant back to class. What you
And
know,
it is.
you don't even sleep.
I sleep about 4 or 5 hours. I'm not a big sleeper.
Well, well, bless you. You can do that now. In
Yeah,
a few years,
I
right?
know.
When you
It's
get to,
starting to catch up. It's
yeah,
starting to catch up. I
yeah, that
definitely,
yeah,
yeah.
right. So if you can cure yourself of that, I suggest you do it. You do it. Okay. So Larry Hartshill's book was your first Jeet Kune Do book.
That was my first one,
What
and
was the second one?
my dad getting it. My dad actually was a big Bruce Lee fan, so my
Okay.
dad unintentionally. Most people don't know. It's a little weird. My birthday is actually Bruce Lee's birthday, so November
No
twenty
way.
seventh.
November 27th. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's my birthday, and my dad had a first edition copy of the Tao of Jeet Kune Do that he had bought, because my dad really liked Bruce Lee, and
Okay.
I considered that kind of a good omen. So I had that, and I had Larry Hartzell's book, and
Hmm.
then I started to read Kevin Seaman's book, and of course Guru's books have been magnificent. Was able to read those as well.
Okay.
So
Wow.
yeah,
Do you have a favorite amongst them?
um, a favorite Jeet Kune Do book
Yeah.
would probably be Guru's book that he wrote with Yori Nakamura that was published in Japan,
Wow.
because that one's got some beautiful pictures and the stances are broken down so wonderfully, and I
Okay.
really do enjoy those. And I'm going to add another thing to it, though. I do want to add something in a second. I also like that book because the techniques are so crisp when you see Guru and Yori in the pictures.
Hmm.
I really do enjoy those books. Like,
I'm trying to wonder. I'm wondering if I even have that book because I have two books by Yuri,
mhm.
but I'm wondering if they're shoot wrestling books.
Yeah, he has shoot wrestling books as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know if I have that Jeet Kune Do book. Um,
it's really neat. It's really neat.
yeah.
It,
My I was going to say my favorite, but I won't because I don't even have it right here with me, and I usually do. It's usually lying around here somewhere, right?
okay.
What about the John Little library? The Bruce Lee library, the John Little stuff? You own
Yes,
all that stuff?
yes, sir. Yeah, I have all of those, and I think those are great as well. I like to kind of see not just the creative process, but the research process.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
something that I think gets left out of the conversation with Bruce Lee, in my opinion, was that he was an amazing researcher. And I
Hmm.
remember starting the process where I would try to buy the books that Bruce Lee had read. And Guru was so well, one of the things I love about Guru is how generous he is with his times and his questions. If you have good questions, he
Yeah.
really makes the time.
Yeah.
And I remember buying Aldo Natty's book on fencing,
Hmm.
and I had asked Guru about it. And I remember reading that book, and then you practice your straight lead, or just the philosophy in Natty's book on how ahead of the game Aldo Natty was,
Right.
and realizing how fencing was going to evolve. And
Right.
I'm not a fencer, and I've never done any training formally in it, but I think that anybody in any field that's studying it is looking ahead as opposed to looking backwards.
Hmm.
I remember seeing a baseball bat when I was a kid. I saw two baseball bats they had a Hank Aaron bat right underneath a Babe Ruth bat, and they don't even look like it's the same sport. The Babe Ruth bat looked like it was a war club. And I always think to myself, when Guru uses a lot of those analogies, I
Yeah.
always think to myself, and I tell my students in a public school, I say, if you take Babe Ruth's bat, the actual design of Babe Ruth's bat, and you try to bat within the major leagues, you're not going to get a hit because it's not designed for that. And so you can tell in Aldo Natty's books and in Costello's fencing books, there is definitely, specifically Natty though, you can tell they are very cognizant of the evolution of that sport. And I think that a lot of those things had to have influenced Bruce Lee because they influenced me, they
Right.
influence people all the time.
Yeah.
And I think those kinds of conversations get left out, in my opinion. When you look at Bruce Lee, the researcher, is
Right.
almost to me like Batman the detective. It's just as good as Batman the tough guy.
What? So okay. So let me ask you an obtuse sounding question.
Okay.
Right. What does Jeet Kune Do mean to you then?
It's meant a couple of things to me throughout my evolution as a martial artist. When I first started training with Guru and first kind of started my journey, Jeet Kune Do meant I wanted to kind of be like Bruce Lee a little bit. I wanted to I wanted to understand it, and then you find out really quick that you're not going to be there. So real quick, spoiler alert, didn't get to that level. I'm not getting to that level. But on a next evolution, JKD means I got to start to personalize a system, and I got
Mhm.
to personalize a system for me, which means I take that into jujitsu, I take that into judo. I have a really, really great judo coach, Blair Watts, who also trains with me at Gracie United. And I was talking to him last night. Just got my brown belt, and I want to get better, right?
Oh, congrats.
Oh, thank you, thank you. It meant a lot. Just like just anytime you progress, it
Yeah.
just means a lot. And I was talking to him about it, and he said something that really was guru-ish.
Hmm.
And he said, don't try to learn more throws to learn more throws. Take what you know and fight different grip sets with your throws.
Yeah.
And I went, oh man, that's really hard to do. And he goes, well, if it was easy, everybody could do it. He goes, if it was easy, your belt would be black. It's just like that's where he's great,
Yeah.
So then for me as a martial artist, it means personalizing, tailoring those systems. But then on another note, it starts to turn into teacher mode and saying, am I actually personalizing things for my students? Because everybody's abilities are different, but their needs are different. And then another deeper answer that to me is, where are these arts going? Where's martial arts training going? And that's a deeper question that I think we're going to continue to ask as we continue to evolve in this profession and what we're doing with it. And what you start, at least for me, like what I start to see is, weapons aren't going away. So you have to have a little bit of weapons training on some level. You have to know something.
Right.
And then you start to look at the evolution of different boxing techniques and Muay Thai and the presence of Muay Thai. And when you're doing Muay Thai and you see how a really good Muay Thai guy is going to have sweeps. They're going to come at you with those sweeps, and they're not just going to use the clinch to break you down. They might be using that clinch to control that posture to sweep you. So you
Mhm.
need to know how to do that, and I need to know how to prepare people to do that. And so then, to me, Jeet Kune Do isn't just that evolution for what I'm developing for myself. It's that evolution of how I want other people to develop. So
So it's a guiding philosophy.
For me, it's a guiding philosophy, yes, because I think that it's like when I use that analogy about Babe Ruth and the baseball bat. I remember researching different people who had also trained with Bruce Lee and thinking, oh, you got to do it just like this, and then you start to see that the problems are a little bit different. And then if you start to have conversations with Guru, you realize, for me, something that's fascinating about Guru as a martial art instructor is he's been exposed to multiple different people in multiple different genres. And so he knows that once you get a different problem, like you look at Sinawali, for example, if you have a different problem, how can you use Sinawali to solve your grip fighting problem? And as a professional educator where I teach in the public schools, what Sinawali does from a non-martial standpoint, just simply a human activity, is incredibly hard to sustain. Really good Sinawali, it's really hard to sustain that and not concentrate. If you and I are really going to play Sinawali for a second, I still have to concentrate. And that's a skill that's not really taught as much. We don't know how to concentrate. I can't tell you, you need to concentrate. What does that look like? It's this kind of like, it's a term that's out there. And so then
Right.
what happens is when we're like, when I work with kids in the public schools, if I see they kind of have that sporadic tone because they look at screens longer,
Yeah.
their media comes faster,
Yeah.
their social interaction is all through devices. They're used to now. They have to learn to be patient. Guess what? You're not going to learn Sinawali the
But
first.
I feel like you are using Sinawali to to help teach them how to focus and concentrate. Am I
Absolutely.
wrong? Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then if you look at binary rhythmic movement, and so something that gets thrown around in education
Hmm.
is how when children like myself, for example, have problems crossing midline. Something that I struggled with intensely, almost embarrassingly so, was tying my shoes, because tying my shoes involved crossing the midline and then going back to the original line. And that was such a
Right.
struggle for me. And I used to think I was the only one. And then when I started my career in special education, I started to see lots of kids have problems tying their
Hmm.
shoe,
Hmm.
which we consider a basic skill, but it's really hard to do. And so then kind of taking that along, Sinawali's perfect for midline because the first,
Yeah,
the
because
first,
because you're telling me that, and
Mhm.
I'm processing the image
Right?
of tying shoelaces, right? And I'm going, well, that's inward backhand right there.
Yeah.
Right? That's going through the center line and coming back out on the other end.
Right. And
Brilliant.
that's what makes it so fun. And
Yeah.
I start to find that when you share Sinawali with people, what happens with it is you can't share Sinawali and be mean. You have to be a giving person. One of the things I did, one of my favorite things I did was, I remember I would teach kids, and the last time I had a what we call an ACT lab, which is like a study hall where the kids come at the end of the day.
Mhm.
I have four kids, and it's a non-special ed classroom. It's four kids. And I remember they said, "Why do you have those pool noodles over there, Mr. Stumpf?" And I said, "Well, I do this kind of thing. I teach martial arts, and I'm kind of downplaying it because you don't want to just jump at them and say, hey, you know." So I just kind of downplaying it. One of the kids goes, "Hey, could you teach us how to do that? Like, what is it?" And so I showed him a video of Guru and Joel at the Smithsonian demonstration.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And when the kids are going, "You could teach us to do something like that?" I go, "Yeah." I go, and I kind of downplayed it. Well, then when I started doing it, here was the interesting thing. This was what I thought was fascinating. The kids would all do it and they committed. I said, if we do it and then we just kind of make it a comment our day, it's no good. We got to commit to doing it for about a minute, just a minute a day.
Hmm.
Because if you get them to do it a minute's not overwhelming. Anytime I got a new kid in the ACT lab, the kids wanted to teach the new kid. They didn't want me to teach, which was
Ah.
fascinating. So it was one of the neatest things I got to see,
Okay.
because then they would want to teach other people.
How would they approach it?
It was so fascinating. I had one kid. This was one of my favorite. I had one kid who I can't get too much into specific information, but the
Yeah.
child is a special ed student. And he looked, and I bring in another gym teacher, and he's gonna teach. I should never forget this. He looks at me and he goes, "I want to teach him, Mr. Stumpf." I go, "Okay, you teach him." He goes, "But I'm gonna teach him my way." My way.
I love this kid.
And I go, well, what's wrong? I go, well, you can teach him what you want. And he looks at me, and this is exactly what he said. He goes, because your way, Mr. Stumpf, he goes, you're too good at it. This is what he said. Think about this. He goes, you're too good at it, and it makes me feel bad. So he looks at the teacher and goes, now, sir, open your hands. And I'm thinking, we start having sex from here. But I'm not going to say anything because he's already committed. He goes, open your hands. Left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand, and that's what he did every time. And he'd go like this, hands open. He goes, and left hand, right, and he wanted to teach Heaven 6 starting from open. And the interesting thing is, so now I'm watching him teach this to this other gentleman. I thought, well, I don't know if this guy's going to learn it. He learned it in 2 or 3 minutes. The kid taught him Heaven 6 in 2 or 3 minutes with a method that I have never done.
Right.
A sledgehammer on side. And what that showed me was this is a young man who you could tell really enjoyed that piece of information.
Mm-hmm.
And by letting him go open to close and go, what I thought was also fascinating is he didn't ever stop. He would stop once I said stop. He didn't see it as 6.
Okay.
He just wanted to go.
Okay.
And so then when we would go, he would start on his own. He'd change heights. He would do all types of stuff. It was fascinating. And his mother shared with me that he's very musically inclined. He's very, 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 very bright person. But it was interesting to watch that take place because the teacher responded like a boss and just went right through and just started doing it. Oh, man, what an amazing thing to see.
How did you teach yourself Heaven 6 after you first saw it?
Interestingly enough, the first time that was the only thing I remembered at the seminar, right? So I go to the seminar and I don't really have any training partners. I tell everybody this story. Then there's this guy from out of town. He was from Kansas City. He was from Kansas City group. And I don't really know how to do that much. And he goes, and he looks at me. He goes, I didn't really know how to do that much. And I'm there kind of with some people, but we all do Taekwondo. So like none of us really know how to do this. Mm-hmm. And so then what ends up happening is he ends up being partners with me, and I can't learn it, and I'm doing the dyslexic thing where I'm looking at the hand I'm supposed to want to move. So instead of doing it, I go, and I go, and I'm just lowering my hand instead of bringing it around, right? Right. So anyway, he goes, you know what? I got to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. I go, oh, okay. And I'm sitting there with my sticks trying to practice. And Guru's demonstrating with Damon Caro. It's just looks amazing. And the guy went to the bathroom and went in through a different exit and trained with somebody else. He left me there.
Right. Okay.
I tell that story to people all the time.
Okay. So now you're on your own. Correct. Now you want to get it. How did you teach yourself?
I learned Heaven 6. I learned Heaven 6 at the seminar, and I just went home and practiced Heaven 6. It was basically kind of what I did. I was able to kind of discern that small piece of information. I also had some of Guru's video.
What was? Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, I had the tortoise production.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I had those. I love the intro music.
Man, right. Yeah. See, in 1983, we didn't have that kind of video.
Right.
Right.
That must have been hard.
So this is what I did. Okay. You ready for this?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
Inward, opposite shoulder. Backhand, same shoulder. Backhand, under. Inward, opposite shoulder. Backhand, same shoulder. Backhand, under.
Oh, wow. That's cool. I like that. I like that method. I like that method. Yeah, that's great.
I talked myself through every calibration, right, to use an Inasano word, of movement. Where to start, where to end up, what to do. Okay. Until one day it clicked. Right. Now you're good to go.
Right.
Right?
That's awesome.
Now, with my kids, in my kids' class, I made him come up with, how many is it? I can't remember, but it's at least four. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So you know it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's inward, backhand, backhand.
Right.
So then here's the test. Well,
Okay.
this describe it to me another way. They're like, what? I go, yeah. I want you to think about it. So everybody knows it's inward, backhand, backhand, inward, backhand, backhand. What's another way? And I would force my kids' class to come up with stuff. So one of our ways is
Okay.
this. Okay. Right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand.
Ah, I like that.
Okay. Here's
Yeah.
another one.
Okay.
Diagonal, diagonal, diagonal,
I love it.
diagonal, diagonal, diagonal. Here's
Okay.
another one. You ready for this?
Yes.
Palm up, palm down, palm
Oh.
down. Palm
Oh my
up,
gosh.
palm down, palm down.
That, and you know what I like about your palm up, palm down? That's grip fighting. When you talk about palm up, palm down. I've never thought. I'm gonna go ahead and write that down. I'm gonna use that. You're right. That's, to me,
Right?
that's grip fight. That's grip fighting. Because look, if I want to get a cross sleeve grip, that's
Yeah,
palm up.
yeah,
Right. If I want to get choke grip, palm up. But if I want to bring it around here, it's palm down. I love it.
yep.
That's great.
Right.
I
See,
love it.
so because when I was watching you talk to Jamie, I kind of identify with your love for Sinawali.
Oh, thank you. I do
Right.
love Sonali.
Because I got it. So now I have to test you on something.
Okay. All right. I'm in.
Okay. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. So, um, where does Inosano get the 4,096 number from?
Where?
Yeah. Where does he get it from?
I know he's done the math with it.
Yeah. How does he come up with 4,096?
But I'm thinking you're going to multiply the eights by the eights. I don't know. You got me. You stumped me pretty early. I didn't make it very far.
Oh, come on, man. Because
I mean,
you've been in the room when I've been there when
yeah,
he said there's 4,096 possibilities.
correct. Because when you're
And you never worked it out?
I have worked I've worked multiple times. I mean, with my own personal research, I've worked through doing it in threes and in nines. So working with three on the right, matching three on the left.
Uh-huh.
And then I have kind of a concept I do it where if I go heaven on one, I go wing on the other, so four, and I go back to the other shoulder for five.
Oh, man.
So I do
That,
it like that. And then what I kind of do is I kind of look at it like this. It depends how you want to find. We all know Sinawali number one is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 forehands. So is Sinawali number two forehand, forehand, backhand, forehand, forehand, backhand? Or is Sinawali number two high, high, low with the straight forehand method? I've
hmm,
never asked her that question. So what I do is I'll start with three on one side, and then I'll move to a different height and different variation on the left side, and then I'll move it to a different height, different variation on
okay.
the right side. So I'll go right, left, right, and that 9 count. Then I try to work through it so that I'm doing it on both sides.
Okay. Hmm. All right. Um, okay, so I'm going to tell you
All right. Yeah, I'm in.
where it comes from, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
So we'll just stick to inward, backhand, backhand,
Okay. So I have a
right?
6. Okay,
So
gotcha.
forget the other 7,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
It's the 8 possibilities of high and low.
Ah.
Okay?
Okay.
Because there's 4 possibilities starting with high, and there's 4 possibilities starting with low.
Okay.
So there's a total of 8,
That makes sense.
right? Now,
Yes.
in terms of inward and backhand, there's also a total of 8,
Right. Okay.
right? Okay?
Following. Right.
But
Yeah.
we're just going to deal with inward, backhand, backhand,
Okay.
because that is, for me, that is the most functional,
Okay.
right? So you've got the high series that has 4, and the low series that has 4.
Okay.
So if you write those, and he has the chart. Now, I'm old school. I don't say forehand. I say inward. All right,
Okay.
because that's how we were taught, right?
Right. Right.
And
Okay.
Ronnie and I were arguing about this the other day, and I go, okay, Ronnie, I go, talk to me about guntings. He's like, what? I go, talk to me about guntings. What kind of guntings are there? He goes, well, there's guntings on the inside, there's guntings on the outside. I go, yeah, but what about directions? Because what?
Oh.
I go, well, if I go this way with the gunting, what's that? He goes, no, I said, if I go this way with the gunting, what's that? He goes, that's a backhand gunting. I go, well, what's the opposite of the backhand gunting?
Be it inward.
He goes, inward. I go, aha.
Oh man.
So the opposite of the backhand gunting is the inward gunting, not the forehand gunting,
Oh wow. This
right?
is giving me a lot of clarity just hearing that
See, that's
explanation.
how we were taught. The opposite of inward is backhand in Kali.
You're right. The
Now,
bat. Yeah, you're right. And you could
my
go
belief,
here,
right?
here. Yeah.
My
Okay.
belief is that he might have changed it when he started teaching the kids class,
Okay.
because for a lot of people, the opposite of inward is outward, but we don't use the term outward. We use the
Okay.
term backhand. So now you change inward to forehand because that would make sense to a younger mind,
Yeah, makes
right?
sense. Yeah, that
Okay.
does make
But
sense.
but but in the old days, it was never called for. It was always inward, right? And
Mhm,
and I like to keep, I like to have a consistency to the language that I
mhm.
use when I
Absolutely.
teach.
Yeah, that's key.
So everything that's inward is inward,
Okay,
as
that makes
opposed
sense.
to well, sometimes we call it inward, but at other times we call it forehand. That
So
would
the
confuse.
direction so the
Yeah.
direction's really driving it.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, that makes
Okay.
absolute sense.
So
Very
inward, backhand, backhand, right?
yes, sir. Okay.
And 8 possibilities. So this is how it works. If I go high, 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 starting on my right side, I go high, high, high on my left side.
Okay.
But now I keep number 1 on my right side, high, 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 but I go to number 2 on my left side, which is high, high, low.
Oh, okay.
Then I go 1, 3, then I go 1, 4. So now I'm done with the high family. Now I go 1, 5. Now I'm starting with the low family.
Oh, wow.
So it's high, 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 low, 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 high,
Okay.
high, high, low, high, low, low, high, 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 low, high, low, high, 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 low, high, high.
I love that description because you're almost talking about that unmatched application of it from chambered.
Yes,
And yeah, it's
yeah,
unmatched.
but
I
it's all
never
it's all inward, backhand, closed position. So now I've done all 8 possibilities, starting with number 1 on the right side. Now I go to number 2 on the right
now
side. 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
so now you go high, high, low, and then you go back to high or high, high, low, then high, low, low on the left side.
Yes.
The way it's flipping. That's
Then I go to number 3. So I go 3,
okay.
1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 6, 7, 8. Then I go to number 4. That's
Okay.
how those 8 basics become 64 basics, because
You're
it's 8
right.
times 8,
Which is 64.
which is
Okay.
64, right? Now,
Correct.
take those 64 basics of high and low,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, filter those through the 8 basics of inward, 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 backhand, inward, backhand, inward, inward, backhand, 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 inward, backhand, inward, backhand, backhand, inward, inward.
Yeah. That
That's 64 times 64 equals 4,096.
jeez. I've never wow. Thank you so much. This was good. I loved hearing that. I've never thought of that.
That's where it comes from.
That's where it comes from.
Yeah.
Wow. See, I
Okay.
never approach it that way. That's really neat. I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Check it out.
I
Check it
am.
out.
I am
Right.
100%. Yeah, that's
Okay.
brilliant.
But I'll tell you this,
Mhm.
he's not right.
Uh-oh.
He's not
Uh-oh.
right.
What
You know
what what
why?
no.
Because that 4096, we're just standing in front of each other. We
Oh, okay.
didn't advance or retreat.
Oh, that makes sense. So we
We
don't
didn't
kneel.
go to the right or the left.
Mhm.
We didn't circle to the right or the left.
We don't have someone standing and someone kneeling, and
Aha!
someone laying down and someone standing over it.
Aha!
Right.
Aha!
Wow.
You
That is
see?
infinite. That is infinite.
So, this is why sometimes it's easier to express JKD concepts through Filipino martial art.
Absolutely.
You see?
Mhm.
Right? Because it's immediately visible
Mhm.
because of that type of thing. But then all you need do is those 8 variations of high and low.
Mhm.
High becomes punch and low becomes kick. So now we go back to high, high, high. Well, that's punch, punch, punch.
You're right. Now
Now
where
we
would you
go, now we go high, high, low. That's punch, punch, kick.
then
Now
where
we
would
go high, low, high. Huh?
okay. Where would you put the knee in that? Would you clap?
Ah, my
Oh,
friend.
okay.
Ah, my friend. Here's what you got to
I
understand.
love this. This is
Okay?
great
Here's
conversation.
what you got to understand. The empty hand skill called kicking for Inasano influence instructors like me,
Okay.
kicking includes the use of the knee and the shin,
Okay.
not just the
Cool.
foot.
Okay, so we put the knees in the same category. Okay.
Yes,
I
right?
like that. That high, low,
Punch,
high. Gosh dang.
yeah.
I never thought of
Punch
that.
includes the use of the elbow and the
Mhm.
forearm.
Oh, and then we have our high that way.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
right?
Man.
Yeah,
I have to
yeah.
I have to tell you, I have focused so much on the numbers because I
Mhm.
try to play with 9 so much because if you look at 9 and what I'll do when I play with 9 is I never do the same height twice. So I work through it because what a lot of people don't think about in their Sinawali transitions is the 6 to 1 transition. So as we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, remember that young man I told you about, he wanted to start this way.
Yeah,
So then this transition here is really, really key. So then
yeah,
when I focused on 9, because if I just do heaven on 1, then I do inward, backhand, inward, and then all backhands, and I just play with this one.
right.
Once I play with that backhand transition, I now have to switch to the other side.
Yes. See, and
And then,
that's
yeah,
great. That's great for
yeah,
what you do because of what
right.
you do as a profession,
Because
right?
it works
See,
that brain.
right. Me, inward backhand is my primary um routine because it translates immediately into empty hands. It
Yeah.
translates immediately into dagger, translates immediately into even double dagger or what have you.
Uh-huh.
So for me, inward backhand is the most functional and
Okay.
practical movement, right?
That makes
in
sense.
in the Sinawali. Backhand is good to know because all that stuff, the other 7 variables are good for your brain. So you should continue to incorporate that for yourself and for your kids. But
Okay.
for me, I'm not teaching in the public schools,
Right.
right? I'm looking to find the connection
Mhm.
between, right, how in the empty hands of Kali,
Right.
right, the first motion, the initial block, the
Mhm.
safety factor, and the killing blow. That's inward backhand,
Right. That makes
right?
sense. Absolutely. Yeah.
Pure out of Villabril Largusa Kali,
That's
Okay.
amazing.
But now here's the thing, right? Take JKD.
Okay.
So against the jab, I go split entry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I pull that back and I go backhand, right?
Okay.
So when I go and I go backhand, now I go inward, now I go inward,
That makes sense.
right?
Wow.
You see?
Wow, yeah, it's such a when you put it into terms like that with the split and using it off the split, we often look at the literal translation as opposed to seeing in between the lines. And if we split or if we have it this way like that, if we look at the split, if we're targeting the body or
Mm-hmm.
if we're targeting inside the arm, that's
Mm-hmm.
going to change. That's going to change our path.
Yeah,
That makes total sense. I
yeah,
love that.
right.
I've
So
never seen.
so
I've never had it breaking down to me like that before. I love it.
in Asano's book, in his Jeet Kune book, right?
Hmm.
There's a passage where he and Richard Bustillo talk about how the Kali opened their eyes in JKD,
Right.
JKD opened their eyes in Kali,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
See, and I think that's something that has never been discussed as
I agree.
deeply as it could or should be, right? Because
Absolutely.
for me, it is the JKD mentality that brought me to the conclusion that the inward backhand in Kali is the most functional. Because
You
I'm not, yeah,
no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
right.
Yeah,
Um,
it is.
yeah, because I'm not looking. It's the remember the whole JKD philosophy of daily decrease, right? So
Mhm.
having seven other patterns, 3 count patterns of inward and backhand is fun.
Right.
But I have to work with them and see, right? How does
Mhm.
backhand translate into something outside of a double stick pattern?
Right. Yeah, that's
Is
very
it
true.
something that it's going to work for me?
Hmm.
And not and but also if it's going to work for me, does it work functionally? Because I can have you stand there and I can go backhand like this and scissors
Right.
your neck, right?
Hmm.
But if you're really coming at me, trying to hit me, is this going to stand the test?
Correct.
I don't know.
Right.
I'd have to work it and see.
I like how you're discussing the inward with the two backhands because in the Sinawali, if you look at Sinawali number 3, which is inward backhand, and then if you look at 6, it is two backhands, backhand, inward. And
Mm-hmm.
then if you look at 8, it's backhand, inward, backhand. But
Mm-hmm.
if you start to write them all out, it's
Mm-hmm.
all an inward with two backhands.
Well, you
And
know what
what
that
and what
is,
what I'm gleaning from what you're saying is we're taking that with the pickup. We don't always get to choose the pickup.
right?
We don't always get to choose a starting point, right?
Right.
So
But
then
but
when we yeah.
Matt, here's the thing. Okay, so 3 count sombrata. You hit angle one. I wing block. I hit you angle one. You inside deflect. You hit
Okay.
angle four. I drop deflect.
Right.
So the angles of attack are what? 1, 1, 4.
Correct.
Okay. Well, we have 3 drills out of that. We have one
Yeah.
one four, 1, 4, 1, and 4, 1, 1.
Wow. I love that.
So if you have inward backhand, you also have backhand inward, and you have backhand inward backhand.
That's amazing.
That's all you. That's
I
it.
love it. I
That's
love it.
it.
I love
Right?
it. I love it. I love listening to you talk about this because
You
it's
see?
given me no, it's given me a lot more clarity and just teaching this to other people because I think
Well,
yeah,
here. So see, this is where having you on the show was self-serving, because I look around the room.
yeah,
I look around the room,
right.
and I don't see enough inquisitiveness and enough curiosity.
I agree.
But you have come over to me and said, "Hey, what should I be working on?" You've done that at least twice,
Oh yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this kid is hungry.
Yeah. Thank
So
you.
bringing you right.
Thank you. I
So
appreciate
bringing you on the show is
it. Thank you.
self-serving because I get to pass some stuff on to you
Yeah, absolutely.
that isn't out there in the current instructional rotation.
Mm-hmm.
You see,
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, there might be lip service given to it, but it's
Mhm.
not being drilled down,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
right?
Well, yeah, and I think what happens, and I tell people that, especially when I've been working with somebody for a while, that there becomes a danger in doing Heaven Six too much because you're not taking it outside of you're not taking it outside and putting it where it's supposed to be because greatness is really what you rub up against. And when you take that Sinawali and you start to say, okay, I'm gonna play with the heights. Now I'm gonna take I'm gonna apply it with my footwork.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to take it and I want to use it to solve a boxing problem. I want to take it and use it to solve a jujitsu problem.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're playing.
Yeah.
And that's gonna look different for everybody. That's
You
gonna
just
look
gave you just gave me another one to share with you. Okay,
okay.
so you have single stick,
Okay.
I have double stick,
Okay. Oh, I don't like this.
right?
Can I have double stick?
Nope, nope,
Okay.
because
Okay.
my attacks are going to be heaven six.
Right. Okay.
So you have to learn to block, check, and hit my inward, my backhand, my backhand, my inward, my backhand, my backhand.
Yeah, you're right.
Right now,
Yes.
easy for me to go pa 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 pa. Harder for you to block, check, block, check, block, check, block, check, block, check.
Especially if I'm a single stick guy.
But it's good fun.
Yes, it is. I have to get my zoning squared away. I got to
Right?
make sure I zone, right?
Yeah, but it's good fun,
I love that.
right? And especially if then we put it in environmental situations where you can't back up,
Right.
you see, where
Oh,
you can't go
yeah.
left or right. So
Okay.
now you might not even be able to use footwork, but now you got to use body angulation.
Yeah, and then that's going to add another dimension to it, isn't it?
There you go, my
That
friend.
adds another dimension. Yeah, because you're using that body angulation. Because
Yes.
if you don't, if you're not able to use your range to change the target or you to manipulate a little bit of safety, you're coming in on that angle that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're going to have to clear over the top like that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so great.
You see, and
Yes.
and so um, once Sifu Dan and I discussed it, and he man, it's amazing, right?
Hmm.
But and it's also endless. Ronnie and I
Right.
had that was another argument that Ronnie and I had. Right?
Okay.
He goes,
Okay.
well no. He goes, well, Sifu Dan said it's 4,096. I go, no, Ronnie, it's infinite. He's like, well, how can it be infinite? I go,
Right.
well, here's what we do. We're talking about inward backhand, right?
Hmm.
6 count. Well, how about I do this? I go inward, I retract, and then I go inward backhand.
Right. Yeah, I love that
Right?
inward back, inward backhand. I love it. I
Okay.
love it. I love
I
it.
said to him, the reason why it's infinite is because you can always add one.
And you can always add a different condition. Well, and it's interesting when you just said add one. I remember just learning from Guru, and obviously I haven't had the same experience set, but going and learning from Guru and seeing Villabreo 6 count and then Villabreo 8 count, and then seeing that that's taught a couple different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you look at systems like Estalelia, and then you see that has, Guru teaches there's a 4, then he teaches a 5, then he teaches a 9, and then I go home and I think, well, what if I do heaven and I just end it on 7, right? And then we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 because
Right.
Lacasta's got those counts. There's a
Yeah.
reason. There's a reason for that.
See, I don't even bother with all that stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. But that's
Yeah.
because my brain's old and I can only stick to what I know. Right. I'm not
Okay.
adventurous. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's my consideration.
Okay.
Right. Is it readily translatable into empty hands? Is it readily
Oh.
translatable into dagger? If
Okay.
it isn't,
Good.
I'm not too concerned with it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You see, because
Absolutely.
that's how Kali is influenced by JKD.
Okay.
You're not looking for as many possibilities, right? As many possibilities as possible, to coin a phrase, right?
Hmm.
You're looking for the stuff that's immediately translatable into the other things that you have to get good at.
Okay.
You
That makes
see,
sense. Yeah,
right?
you're using it for that specific problem.
Yes, because because that's what the JKD element is about. The JKD element is about, is it functional? Is it practical? So there's a
Right.
lot of stuff that you can do with the weapons that is just for show.
Hmm.
You see, and
Absolutely.
I tell people sometimes that what has served for me to keep in mind is that our Filipino martial art
Okay.
is influenced by JKD. But
Yeah.
most of the Filipino martial artists out there, they're not influenced by JKD. They don't have the origin that we have.
Right.
Jeet
Absolutely.
Kune and Filipino martial art in the same person, Dan and Asano. Does that make
Correct.
sense? Right?
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
see, so our approach can be a little bit different because
Oh yeah.
we're not looking for the same things.
Well, and I think also too, I think if you're pragmatic and you know you want to get good and make other people good, that approach isn't going to be the same. That approach isn't going to be the same for everybody.
Mhm.
And so then when you work with different people, they try to codify or crystallize that
Yeah,
information, and they say no,
yeah.
it's got to be. Guru uses that analogy all the time about about the karate class and everyone's got to be the same height. And when you look at like something like if you look at something like if you look at like jujitsu, for example, I say all the time, I'm a very basic player
Mhm.
because my brain doesn't function at that advanced level. I'll see, like, I'll listen to my instructor say something and he goes, I know that he has to address this grip and that's going to give me this platform. And then I'm hearing it's on the back. And when he explains it to me, I go, oh yeah, it makes sense. And then like even like last night, I'm thinking to myself, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna set this grip up. And it never happens. But when I tell myself when I tell myself something basic, guru-ish, thinking, okay, don't get flat, stay on your side. You
Mhm.
know that the underarm hook helps you. Get to an underarm hook because that's going to help you.
Right.
I try to take that Kali approach. I try to take into those other settings,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that's why I think it's so great.
Yeah. Um, okay, so I just took a look at the time because
Yes.
I know you got better things to do
Oh
than
no, not at all. But
than hang out with me
you know,
on a Friday night. Um, okay, so do you have if you'd be willing to share, I'll
oh, yeah,
share mine, right?
of course, yeah.
But like personal quirks that are born out of, for me, it's born out of Kali. So here's my personal
Oh,
quirk.
okay.
I spend the first few hours of Sunday morning behaving as if I'm a left-hander,
Okay, okay, I got you.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's born out of Kali. Do you have anything like that
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I got a lot of them.
that you'd be willing to share?
I will. Okay, so I got this thing when I unlock the door. Okay, so so you know what? When you say this, it makes me feel better about myself. When I unlock the door to my classroom and I let the kids in, I come in, I unlock the door, and if you can visualize, the door's right here, it goes
Okay.
against the right frame. I'll come out, boom, and I'll hit it like this. I'll hit it, and I'll come to the side. I do it every time. And I had today, like one of the kids looked at me and he goes, "The heck are you doing?" He's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I go, "I'm just opening up the door." And he kind of looks at me and goes, "Man, that's a little weird." I do that,
Yeah.
and then occasionally, if I drop something, I'll sometimes try to catch it the other way. I'll do
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, all the time,
Well,
all the
so
time.
when like if I'm locking the front
Hmm.
door and I drop my keys, if
Hmm.
they hit the floor, I'm disappointed in myself
Because you try to catch it before it
because
falls.
it means I'm getting old and what have you. And then
Right.
when I had my big school, I used to
Okay.
welcome and well now I have the little group, but it still happens.
Hmm.
It's like I'm demonstrating something,
Okay.
and whoever it is I'm demonstrating on has an idea and they'll do something,
Mm-hmm.
right? I
Okay.
call it flinching. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
when that happens, if I can't counter it, right, with
Right.
control, I'm disappointed in myself.
Okay.
It hasn't happened thus far, right? It hasn't happened yet in my 30 years of teaching and what have you, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. That's
I know what you
amazing.
mean, right? Okay. One thing that I wondered about for you, and I'll close with
Okay.
this because I asked you about your
Yeah.
favorite Jeet
Perfect. Yeah.
Kune book, right?
Absolutely.
Um, you didn't grow up. I know you didn't grow up on like kung fu films and what have you, right?
Not really. No. I mean,
Right.
I saw Bruce Lee movies, but not too much.
Right. So you wouldn't have a favorite kung fu movie, but what about action films with martial art in them? Is there such a thing for you as a favorite one?
I really don't like a lot of martial art films.
Ah,
I would like them for a time, but I never like media wise. I'm
okay.
trying to think back and kind of into my 20s. I'm trying to find a good one that I really
Okay.
like. I
All
didn't
right.
feel
Well,
bad.
I now well now I hesitate to ask you this.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
How many movies with Dan and Asano in them have you watched?
Well, Game of Death, obviously, and then Sharky's Machine, and
Okay.
then sorry, so I have a little. Hold on. I saw Big Stan
Okay.
when he comes out. He's like, like, I love it. I've seen
Okay.
that. I saw Above the Law.
Okay.
I've
No,
seen
well,
the
no. He wasn't in Above the Law. He was in either the second one or the third one. Out for Justice, I think.
On for Justice. That's right.
Yeah.
When he played Sticks,
Yeah. Okay.
which I thought was awesome, by the
Yeah.
way.
Okay. All right. Keep going. Keep
um,
going.
yeah, that's it for me.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And of course you've watched the praying mantis episode of the Green Hornet.
As a matter of fact, I have a picture of Guru and Bruce Lee. I have a picture of Guru and Bruce Lee from that. When Guru sells the pictures, I actually
Uh
have one, and I have a
okay.
picture of Guru and Bruce Lee doing that.
And his other Hong Kong venture,
Okay.
a movie called The Chinese Stuntman.
Oh, I've never heard of that. The Chinese stuntman. Okay, I'm gonna write that down.
Okay, write that down. Send
Right.
me a message.
Yeah.
I think I have
Let
the
me grab that.
MP4. I think I
You
have
said
the
it's the
MP4
Chinese
version of it.
stuntman.
Yeah, it actually has about three different names because
Okay.
you know how Hong Kong kung fu
Yeah,
films are. It's
absolutely.
Chinese Stuntman. It's called Counterattack, and it's
Counterattack.
also
All right, I'm writing it down.
called the Chie Boxing Master. Right,
Okay,
right.
I'm
Okay.
gonna look this up.
So I think I have the MP4 of it that I could Google Drive to you.
Okay, please. Oh,
Yeah.
please,
So
please, please, please.
if you message me
Yeah.
your Gmail address,
Okay,
I can hook you up with that one
I
tonight.
will. Yeah,
Right?
I absolutely will. I love it.
Okay. All right. Matt Stumpf, I'm gonna let you go. It's been a
Yes,
pleasure
sir.
talking to you, man.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me on. I hope this was good. I hope I did all right. You know, I'm
There
super.
is
I have to
there
tell you.
no there's you never have to worry about that. All here's what this is. This
Mhm.
is for people now. I've gotten to know you a little bit. I've gotten to know you a lot more because of this, and
Yeah,
I'm able to put you, so to speak, in front of others who might
thank
not
you.
know you,
Well,
right?
thank you so
So
much.
the Jeet Kune Do Dialogues is about the martial arts stories of my colleagues,
Yeah,
right?
thank
Because I want everybody. I mean, and I know more people in the Inasano world than in any of the other Jeet Kune Do lineages, of
you.
course,
Mhm.
right? Because I'm in it. So I start there with the people that I know because it's easier for them. They trust me more than somebody from like the Ted Wong camp or
Right,
somebody from the Jerry Poteet camp. You know, it's like, oh,
right.
he's an Inasano boy. I don't know if I could trust him. He might
Mhm.
try to trip me up, you know, with questions or whatever, whatever. And then no, it's about You guys. Now, you and I will wax effusive about Kali because we're two Kali nerds,
Right, right,
right?
absolutely.
So somebody's going to look at this and go, "What the hell? I thought this was the Jeet Kune Do dialogues," and I just go, you don't get it, you don't understand."
You know what? It
Right?
still is in my eyes. It still is for me. 100%. 100%. I thank you so much for the opportunity to come on. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much just for the input and mentorship you've given me. Because I really appreciate it. It was an honor for me meeting you and getting to work with it really was. And getting to work with you and then like just to come here and to talk with you and just like the little just a little shards of those of that evidence of the just the
you're,
shards of advice and input and support
you're,
really
you're,
does mean a lot, and I appreciate it so much.
you're whoever raised you, your parents raised a good guy. You're a
Oh,
very
thank you,
nice
sir.
guy.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
Okay, Matt, take care. I don't know if I'll see you before, unless you guys go out in January or something. You're not going anywhere for the rest of the year, right? No,
No,
right?
no, unfortunately, I probably my next trip. I'm planning to see Guru at Sea Lock Camp. That's my big one.
Okay,
So
so that'd be March, right?
May, May,
May.
Mother's Day
Oh
weekend.
man.
Yeah, I've got a great mother. She excuses me every weekend. I always joke with her. I say, "You're the only mom I got." Yeah.
All right, man. Okay, well, you take care, right?
Yes, sir.
Say hello
Absolutely.
to everybody for me.
I will.
Okay, and we'll talk again.
Awesome. Thank you,
All right,
sir. I
man. Okay.
appreciate you.
All right. Take care.
All right. Bye bye.
All right. Nice one. Right. Matt's a great guy. He really is. And like I said, he's one of those who is like when I see him on seminar, I can see, you know, I can see that he's thinking, right? And so this is that's what I'm looking for in the current crop, right, of Inasano certified people. It's like the inquisitiveness and the curiosity, right? So I was really happy to get him on the show. All right, so let's do some commerce. Um, this is my quick skills series, volume one, the JKD quick skills. This is the Junfan kickboxing, and it is available at the JKD Rebel .gumroad.com/L/XZAL, right? What else is there? Titans of Jeet Kune Do, number, what is this? Number 5 is coming up next year in first weekend of February. Go to Titans of JKD actually, right? .com, and all the information is there. The price goes up in today's the 24th. Price goes up in a week, right? The early bird price. So if you have been thinking about this, you don't have to necessarily book your flights now, but you should get the early bird price. So go to titansofjkd.com and check that out. At paypal.me/unifiedma Miami, paypal.me/unifiedma Miami. The Jeet Kune Do Journey Volume 1 is available. That is paypal.me/unifiedma Miami. What else should I talk to you about? JKD drills, I know, long time in coming, but go follow that page. Just like and follow that page for when it does go active. I'm a perfectionist, and so that's why it's taken me so long to get it up and running. And I know I should just put it up, right? This is the URL for um, my student Wayne Quinton down in Barbados to help him and his wife Petal in their fight against her breast cancer. It's a GoFundMe page, and that's the information there. Um, Last but not least, get rid of this, Dwight. The new store, although I've been having some problems with them, so I don't know if we're gonna keep them, right? Because there's this thing, if you personalize like this coffee cup, like I have to give permission for that, and apparently I was slow in granting permission for something, right? So But if you go to, what is it, rebelgear.printify.me, rebelgear.printify.me, you can find stuff like this, the Fire and Focus coffee mug, Fire and Focus t-shirt, Legends in the Room coffee mug, Four Tenets of Jeet Kune. I think Legends in the Room is also a t-shirt. I'm pretty sure, right? But go to rebelgear.printify.me for all that good stuff. And that is it for me for this week. I know we've been, Ronnie and I have been on the road like crazily. And usually when I get in on Friday, depending on the part of the country that we're in, I'm not able to go live at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So we've been missing in action for a little bit. But I should be, well, no, there's two trips in November. We'll see, right? Okay. And I will get back, I promise you, next week on Wednesday, the I Love Jeet Kune Do broadcast. Mark David Collins, thank you so much for getting on my case every week. Every week almost, Mark will send me a message asking me if there's a talk later today. So I will be resurrecting the I Love Jeet Kune Do broadcast next week. Okay, so enough talk for today. You guys have a great weekend. This is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Do Rebel, signing off. We'll talk soon. Take care now.